Why is entrepreneurship so challenging in Nigeria? Because entrepreneurs lack support. They lack funding, training, mentorship, network, market, technology, and other necessary support systems. Haruna's kinsmen supported him with portions of land and some money. He is a successful farmer today, making a good living for his family and employees. Chima was set up in business by his uncle after some years of apprenticeship. Bola too has a similar story with her real estate business. You too can support businesses today on fundandenterprise.org. Fundandenterprise.org is Nigeria's first crowdfunding platform for supporting MSMEs with funds to start up or scale up their businesses, training, mentorship, network, market, and technology. You should support businesses today by donating to them on fundandenterprise.org. You can also create your fundraising campaign on fundandenterprise.org if you need funds for your business. Help your business and other businesses achieve their goals today on www.fundandenterprise.org. This way, our people can have a meaningful livelihood and our economy can thrive again.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. With that video, I would like to start the webinar today. I want to encourage each and every one of us to, if you don't have a pen, grab a pen. We will be recording, we have started recording the webinar. This webinar is going to be available in our YouTube channel, and for all those participating today, a link to the YouTube channel will be sent to you. So thank you very much for joining us, and I would like to share my slides. Just a minute. So thank you for joining us today in the Together to Thrive webinar series being organized by the MSME Crowdfunding Foundation, who are the owners and operators of www.fundandenterprise.org. As you've previously listened to the recording or the video that played, MSME is the foremost crowdfunding platform in Nigeria that is designed solely to support entrepreneurs and business owners with skills training, crowdfunding, and hand-holding exercise. Today, we premiere the Together We Thrive webinar series, which is hinging on one of our cardinal pillars of skills training. We will be bringing to the network, our network of MSMEs, our hubs, and the general public and all business owners who desire to join us, relevant business, finance, and technology training that they need to scale up and do their business. We'll be covering a number of topics. It's going to be, we intend to do it for a number of time. I dare say we probably would have it once every 2 weeks, depending on confirmations from the various speakers of the various events. So today, we're kicking off with positioning your business for funding. And my name is Magnus Mong. I am a trustee with the MSME Crowdfunding Foundation. So I would like that you take a chill pill, enjoy yourself while we go ahead. So some guiding rules about the webinar today. We want to encourage our attendees to use the Q&A chat box or our email at support@fundandenterprise.org to raise or ask their questions, or use the raise your hand feature, to ask your questions directly. I'll be looking at that chat box in the course of my presentation, and we'll be taking some questions. We have a couple of polls that we've designed to keep the session interactive. So we want to encourage all attendees to please participate accordingly. Our webinar is interactive in nature, and as previously said, we encourage all attendees present to freely share their names, businesses, and other details for networking purpose. We encourage collaboration. Chances are that you may meet someone or get to know about a business that you've been looking for some support in the course or the duration of the webinar series. Strive to make social media posts concerning this session or on any matters that resonate with you directly. And in doing so, please tag the foundation, which is MSME Crowdfunding Foundation. If you search that on any of the social media handles or social media platforms, you will be able to locate the foundation. And please tag myself, Magnus Mong. Also use the hashtag Together We Thrive on all your social media posts. And the foundation is available on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube Live. So I see someone has raised their hand. So before I move to the next slide, let me take that question. So Onyema Udenze posted a question in the chat box, and he or she, I'm not sure if it's a male or female, says, I'm based in Abuja. My company Blaze is into IT consultancy services in the construction section. Thank you very much. This should be posted to the chat box, not to the Q&A. We want to leave the Q&A specifically for questions relating to this webinar or any other questions that you might have. So this has been answered. So I'll return back to share my screen. Okay, so moving on. So I'll tell you a bit about the foundation, even though the video have captured a number of them. The MSME Crowdfunding Foundation was incorporated in July of 2018 as a not-for-profit organization, basically designed to assist individuals, enterprises, and groups in raising the necessary capital to fund and grow their business. So the aim of the foundation is executed in three folds as follows: skills training, and under skills training, we intend to involve or equip entrepreneurs or business owners with relevant businesses, finance, technology related trainings needed to start up and run a successful business. So what we're doing today, the premiere of this session, speaks to that, our cardinal aim, which is skills training. So we're offering our MSME network, general public business owners who have signed in successfully, give them skills necessary to grow and scale their businesses. One other thing we do is financial support through our crowdfunding platform. We offer, crowdfunding and grant assistance to beneficiaries on our platform. We provide this platform and leverage on our contacts to attract funding from volunteers, donors, and backers. The third most important thing we also do is hand-holding. And by hand-holding, what we say is that we put in place a structure where we give compulsory 1 year hand-holding support to enterprises or businesses who have benefited from funding from the foundation. We focus only on supporting entrepreneurs, and the foundation are the owners and operators of www.fundandenterprise.org, which is Nigeria's crowdfunding platform for supporting enterprises in raising funds to start, scale, and support or grow their respective business. Today, like we've all heard, my topic is around positioning your business for funding. One of the critical things we need to understand is, why do people go into business? What does business mean? So my friend, whose picture I would like to be told his name is here, has aided me in giving me some definition of what business entails. And he says, a business is a person's regular occupation, profession, or trade. It could be an activity that someone is engaged in. Furthermore, it's a commercial operation or a company. A business is an organization or enterprise engaged in commercial, industrial, or professional activities. Businesses can be for profit or not profit. As you've seen, the foundation is a not-for-profit business, whereas your regular sole proprietorship, partnership, or other kinds of business are designed basically for profit business. So the term business also refers to the organized efforts and activities of individuals to produce and sell goods and services mainly for profit. Types of businesses include sole proprietorships, the individual's businesses that are hinged on a particular person. It has its own advantage and disadvantages. Partnerships, most professional services firms, or some of them, are formed along the partnership lines. Then we have limited liability companies, we have public companies, and even we have international corporation. It is important to try and understand this, because understanding this gives us the sense, why are we in business? Are we in business to make profit, or are we in business to provide not-profit assistance? So if you're in business to make profit, everything that you do, from when you wake up, from when you engage, from when you sleep, your business should all be about making profit. When you're interacting with the customer, when you're engaging with the supplier, it's all about making profit genuinely, making the right income, and making sure that when you're paying for services, you're actually paying for the right amount of services at the right time. So it's important that we understand these definitions as we go along the course of this presentation. So businesses in Nigeria, let's look at some stats. According to our Vice President, His Excellency, Professor Yemi Osibanjo, he says MSMEs, and I dare say entrepreneurs, are the bedrock of Nigeria's industrialization and inclusive economic growth or development, and the most important component of industrialization as set out in the Nigerian's ERGP plan. So basically, the federal government is attributing the importance of MSMEs. So if you're here today and you are an entrepreneur or you are a business owner, Nigeria recognizes the fact that your activity is very, very important to the growth, to the sustainability, to the plan of the Nigerian Federation. So at that point, I would like to see if we can take one of our polls to get a sense of what our people are involved in. So just give me 1 second, I'll stop share so that I can take one of the polls. All right, so the first poll here is to try and find out. So I've launched the poll now. So the poll is live and we're asking, are you an entrepreneur? And do you run your own business? So let's get some answers, please. So one person has said, yeah, two. Keep going. So I'm going to allow a minute for this question. Everyone should please, as much as possible, participate. Three more seconds. All right, thank you very much. More than 3/4 of our respondents says yes, that they are entrepreneurs and they run their own business. Only about 17% say, I am an entrepreneur, but I don't have my own business. All right, thank you very much for that. We also have a couple of other polls in the course of the webinar. We will be sharing them as we go along to get a sense of where our audience lie. All right, so returning back to share my slide. Vivian, let me know if my slide is fully shared now. All right, so business in Nigeria, let's look at some stats. There are various numbers thrown out there. So there was a report conducted by SMIDAN in conjunction with the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics in 2017, but the report was released sometime in 2019. And it says there are about 42 million enterprises in Nigeria. Of that, the micro and small businesses account for about 99.9%. A large proportion of this number of enterprises are predominantly sole proprietors. So it's important to note that people who go into business or who form the micro and small business are more structured along the lines of sole proprietorships. And the states within Nigeria that account for the highest number of MSMEs are Lagos, Oyo, and Osun State, in that order. Lagos coming with the highest, Oyo and Osun following thereabouts. There are some other states, but the numbers of SMEs, coming up in those states are few and far. We see a bit of trend in the Federal Capital Territory very recently. Medium enterprises, so that category of business accounts for about 0.004%, totaling about 1,793 of the total number of businesses that were surveyed. Micro businesses are mostly owned by younger people. So this is a very interesting statistic. So between the ages of 26 and 50, we begin to see a trend that people tend to begin to start and own their own businesses. Whereas for small and medium businesses, the age bracket is over 36 years. Micro and small businesses account for about 84% of employment opportunities in the country. So this is kudos to what we do. People who run their business cumulatively is giving about 84% of employment opportunities in Nigeria. Generally speaking, MSMEs are involved in skills development and innovation, because in the course of your work, as you could see in the picture on your left, you could see the industrial landscape of Lagos. There are lots of activities going on. There's lots of buzzing and hustle. You must understand the various amounts of businesses that are going on or being conducted in that location. So let's look at some of the challenges before we begin to go into issues around how we begin to position our business for funding. What are the challenges typically that micro, small, and medium businesses face in Nigeria? The list is endless, but we've been able to put together this for the purpose of this webinar. There is the technical know-how, training, and managerial skills. One of the things you must understand is that most people, out of the fact that they lose their job, they just jump into business, or out of the fact that they are not able to get a job, just go into business. Whereas they don't go through the rigorous process of trying to learn, trying to train, trying to understand, how to go into business. If you look at our brothers from the eastern side, it takes an average of 3 to 5, in some cases between 7 to 10 years, for people to go through an entrepreneurship or apprenticeship process where they learn under their master's tutelage on how to run their own business before they are then settled, or before they then receive their freedom to be able to now go and begin to run their own business. And more often than not, so much of those business tend to do very, very well. And yesterday I had the privilege to take a tour of the trade fair complex here in Lagos, and the number of business that are sprawling or growing around there, it's very, very amazing. Some other challenges we have include infrastructural challenges. Infrastructural challenges along the lines of utility, electricity, good roads, access to transportation and what have you, and other landing infrastructure challenges. Again, the business of importation. How easy for you is it easy for you to clear your goods, to truck your goods from the seaport to your warehouse or to your destination where you tend to offload and sell? So this is also a major challenge that micro, small, and medium businesses face in the country. Then adoption of technology and supportive tools. We go around thinking that putting a technology tool is very expensive, but research has it that there are so many more tools that are available that are free, that can support businesses, that makes your life a lot more easy, that can be used even with your smartphone. There was an article I read the other day. Your smartphone is one of the major technologies that you have. From the comfort of your smartphone, sitting in your home, lying down on your bed, sitting in your public transport and going to your next place of business or your meeting appointment, you can be able to do one or two things that is required to take your business from point A to point B. So we want to encourage all our attendees today to, as much as possible, please try and ensure they adopt one form of technology or the other. Use of business plan. How many of us here have a business plan? Do we even understand the importance of having a business plan? What is the role of business plan for us in the course of our business? As we go along, after this slide, I'll run another poll to get a sense of how many of us actually have a business plan that we continually adopt for the success of our business. Another business challenge we have is access to market, lack of financial knowledge or literacy needed in raising funds. That's basically speaking, access to finance. Do you have all that it takes for you to be able to access funding? Do you even know where to go to get those funding? So knowledge is one thing, ability is another thing, then access is the third thing. So businesses don't have a supportive network. What network of people do you have? Who is there to be able to give you advice, to be able to guide you, to be able to review what you're doing and give you a third-party advice or guidance into your strategy or operation or what you're engaged in? And who is your mentor? These are some of the challenges we have. And as MSMEs are prone to economic and political shocks, like we've seen with the advent of COVID-19. Most of the businesses that suffered are actually micro businesses, small businesses, then large organizations will also have some form of shock. So we're prone to these economic shocks, and government can come up with one legislative change today, and that change or that pronouncement has an adverse effect on the life of MSMEs in the country. Stable and supportive government policy environment, talked about that now. Excessive regulations, complex and cumbersome tax regimes. Yes, we know that with the advent of Finance Act, government has strived as much as possible to take away an aspect of taxation for MSMEs. But what about the local government? What about that woman who is trading on the streets along the road, where local government council people are coming after her, where she pays some money on a daily basis for her to be able to put up her wares? These are still some tax regimes that MSMEs, especially in the micro and small businesses, face. Yes, in the broad shell, the Finance Act basically says if you run your business and your total turnover is not up to 25 million, you don't need to pay tax. You don't need to pay any form of tax. But remember, the local government authorities and agents are there. Every day they come to knock on your store, they come to knock on your shop, and they come to collect their token. All this token eats into the capital, and if it's not eating into the business profit or capital, it is being passed on to customers. And when it's being passed on to customers, your prices begin to be higher, and you're no longer competitive with your other competitors. You know, unfair competition and copyright issues. We talk about that when we look at some of the things we need to do when we begin to engage. But yes, competition is there. Importation makes it difficult for people, goods coming in from China, from other third world countries into the country. Do not give us the opportunity for homegrown MSMEs to be able to compete favorably in the market space. And we're calling on the government to see what they can, put certain policies in place. Yes, we've talked about made in Nigeria for Nigeria, but in reality, how many of our people are buying made in Nigeria or patronizing in those made in Nigerian goods? Yes, we've seen what is happening in the Nigerian music landscape. You can attend a party somewhere in the US or somewhere outside of the country, and I can bet you if it's a Nigerian party, what will be played from start to finish will be Nigerian music. But what about the basic goods and services that we consume? Are we actually, truly patronizing made in Nigerian goods? So these challenges are there, and research has it that about 80% of new businesses or startups will fail within the first 3 years. And the reasons are not far-fetched. The reasons are based along the lines of some of these challenges that we've put up here. So if one is not hitting you, the other one will be affecting you. If it affects you, chances are that your business will not survive in the next 3 years. So our role as entrepreneurs who have crossed the idea stage, who are now implementing or running our ideas, have got to be how to begin to understand what is our peculiar business challenge, what are we doing, or how are we adapting, or how are we structuring our business to be able to mitigate or manage this risk. And at this point, I would like to take the second poll so that we can see where we stand. Just 1 second. So, well, we've launched the second poll now. Where are you located? Where are you joining us from today? So the North Central is leading as we speak. Oh, they are being overtaken by the Southwest. Okay, 10 more, 9 more seconds. All right, thank you very much. The next question is, okay. So that's about it. We'll take the other one after the next couple of slides. So, like I said earlier, 80% of new businesses or startups will fail within the first 3 years. So it is therefore very, very important for business owners, entrepreneurs to be able to understand, critique your business, do an inside review of business and try and find out what challenges or what peculiar challenges your business is facing. No two businesses facing the same kind of challenge. It may be similar, but it may not actually be the same because your condition is different from the other person's condition. So try and understand what your peculiar challenges are and strive to put things in place or put structures in place to be able to mitigate your business, which is why we as the foundation is bringing to you this together with Tribe webinar series. And we're saying, positioning your business for funding. As we have seen, funding is one key aspect of every business challenge. So we need and try to understand where we stand and what we can do to make sure that our business can outlive these statistics of dying within the first 3 years, so that our business can stay longer and can outlive us, and that we can pass it on to the next generation or even grow the business to becoming a multinational corporation. So Fund and Enterprise is putting together this together with Thrive webinar series, and it is our desire that over the course of this webinar series, we'll be able to put together relevant information, share relevant ideas, bring critical stakeholders from various sectors to come talk to us, to come share those business, finance, and technology related skills, information that businesses need more than ever today to ensure a successful business operation. So positioning your business, what are we looking at? So I'll be speaking along this line: business registration, business plan, financial statements, acquiring the necessary skills and training, obtaining relevant certifications, permits or licenses. Then others will talk about banking operations, tax registrations and payments, and adopting technology. So work with me as we go along this line. But before we go, again, I would like to take a break and try and conduct a poll. So let's go. There are 3 questions in this poll. We're asking you, is your business registered? What type, that's supposed to be what type of business do you run? You run a sole proprietorship, that's a typo. Do you have a business plan? So let's see your comments. We've got 40 seconds, please. This webinar is for 1 hour. We need to wrap up quickly. Comments. Yeah, most people's business are registered. Very good. Most people's business are structured along sole proprietorship. Awesome. More than 67% of our audience have a business plan. If you don't have, okay, that has increased to 75%. If you don't have a business plan and you are listening to the sound of my voice today, I would like that you contact us at the end of this webinar. Our email and our phone number will be there. We could work on arrangements to assist you put together a business plan. Thank you very much. So moving on. Business registration. Why is it critical? If you're going to be positioning your business for funding, remember this money is not your money. It's either funding coming from government or funding coming from a venture capitalist. No government agency is going to give you as an individual money for a business in your name. They need to ensure that that money is given to a business. So the first thing you do as a business owner or as an entrepreneur, once you come out of the idea stage, so I was saying that as a business, no government agency, no financial institution, no venture capitalist, no lender will give you as an individual money to go and run a business. If any government agency, financial institution, venture capitalist, or lender is going to give you money for business, that money will be given to a business and the payment will go into a business account. Now, you cannot now open a business account in the bank without necessarily registering your business. So it's important that as soon as you conceive the idea and you've come out of the idea stage of starting a new business, that you take the first important step of registering your business. So registering your business is the first most important thing any entrepreneur should do once you get out of the idea stage. And registration in Nigeria is done at the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, and they have offices in most of the geopolitical zones in Nigeria, if not all of the state capital, and these registrations can be done online. And it is as simple as ABC. If your business is not registered today, contact us. We will support you with the process to try and get your business registered. Registering your business is not just enough. You must also register your intellectual property, patents, trademarks, and copyrights for your products. This guarantees exclusivity and intellectual property protection. It is very, very important. So imagine that you've conceived a very good idea and you've created a successful business, and all of a sudden somebody goes and adopts your trademark. Look at the Nike design. If Nike design or the Nike logo is not protected by patent rights, anyone can use the design. Design your own product and put Nike on it and people will patronize. But what stops someone from using another person's trademark or logo is the fact that there is a protection, not just the business registration. So it's very, very important we note that. So that's one good thing we're getting out of this webinar today, that beyond just registering your business, which is very important, we need to also protect every of our patent, trademarks, and copyright information so that we can have exclusivity. It's your business. It's your business registered. We've seen that most of our people here today, about 75%, says their business is registered. That's beautiful. Well done. Those that are not registered, I've said it earlier, try and contact us at the end of this webinar. What type of business have you registered? we got a report that about 60%, 60 to 70% of the people attending this webinar right now run a business that is along the lines of a sole proprietorship. There are tax implications for the type of business that you have. So a sole proprietor, you will be taxed in your name, even though it's your business. So, but if you're a partnership is not necessarily taxed as a partnership, but the individuals who form that partnerships are liable to tax. Whereas if you register as a company, about 20% of the people who responded to the webinar, to the pool today, says that business is a company or an enterprise. So if your business is a company, you'll be required to pay company income tax, and depending on your threshold of turnover that you make annually, you pay varying amounts based on the Finance Act. So we need to begin to watch that. Are you aware of the tax implications of the respective types of business? Did you speak to a consultant? So we want to encourage you, for those who have not registered their business, speak to a consultant, get an understanding of the various advantages and disadvantages of the type of business that you have. No one type of business is better than the other one. What really matters is for you to understand and be able to prepare and put things in place to mitigate the necessary exposures that will come. All right? So business registration is key. If your business is not registered, you will not be able to position, you will not be able to apply for funding. Because if there are funding opportunities that are available out there, it is businesses that they are looking at. If they're talking about individuals, you can apply as an individual, but you can't apply as a business. So let's ensure that we continue to monitor and register our business and business ideas when the need arises. Okay, business plan. We did a poll, and most of our people are already aware of a business plan. And what's a business plan? A business plan, in simple terms, is a guide for your business that outlines the goals and gives details on how you intend to achieve them. That's just a summary. There's a one-page business plan, there are 3 pages business plan, there are multiple pages of business plan. The beauty about the business plan is it is not cast in stone. As you operate your organization or move your business from one place to another, it is important that you strive to ensure that you update your business plans as your activity change, as you evolve, as you acquire new assets, as you make new investments, as things happen to your business. You need to relook your business plan to check if you're working in tandem with the original plan. If there is need to update your business plan, please feel free to do so. Business plan provides a framework within which every business must operate and ultimately succeed or fail, and gives your business a focus. A business plan indicates to others how serious you are about the business you are running. Most financial institutions would ask you for a business plan, or most government agencies will ask you for a business plan at the time of funding. So it's critical for us all here that if we're striving to position our business for success, if we're striving to position our business for growth, we should ensure that we put a business plan in place for our business and strive to make sure that we continue to monitor them for the successive good and growth of our business. A business plan aids in organizing our business process even before we start the business. The difference between a business and a hobby is a business plan. Because if you have a hobby that you're doing, it's probably not a business. But if you have a business, doing business is serious business. And if you're doing serious business, you need to have a business plan. So like we've all seen in the polls, most of our attendees have business plan. And we're encouraged to continually to use them, amend it, and update them on the need-to-go basis. So one other important thing for preparing or positioning your business for funding is ensuring that you have a business plan. Okay? Now we talk about financial statements. Financial statements are by far the most important funding requirement anywhere and everywhere in the whole world. It serves as evidence of business legibility for funding, bankability, and affordability. Without a financial statement, how would a lender, how would the third party know what you have been doing in the comfort of your business? An audited financial statement is a set of documents that affords a third party to look at your business without being involved and take a decision to say, okay, this business is doing very well. With this funding that this business is looking for, this business is sure to grow. Having the right set of up-to-date management account or financial statements therefore becomes very critical. What is the quality of your financial statement? What documents should you focus on? So for the purpose of this webinar, I've only just put about 4 of them there. There's so many other management type of accounts that can be put in place. But for the purpose of this business, this webinar, I'll just talk about 4. We talk about balance sheets, otherwise known as statements of financial position. It basically talks about what do we have, what are our assets, and what are our liabilities. The balance sheet gives a report of a business as at a certain date. The next most important document is your P&L. Basically talking about how did we do, what did we do, and how did we do, how did we fare. It's talking about or showing how much revenue has come in and how much money have we spent. It's the profit or loss statement that when someone sees in the surface of the document, someone can then say this business is running smoothly or this business has a going concern problem. Once you hear that, note that there is a problem. Statement of changes in equity basically talks about retained earnings. How much of your profit have you retained? How have you shared them? What are you doing to them? Another critical thing most lenders, especially in the banks in Nigeria, look at is your cash flow statement. What is the summary of your cash flow statement? How much money did you generate? How did you spend it? Is it healthy? What is the sales pipeline looking like? A cash flow statement of 1-to-1 shows that that business is running smoothly, and the chance of that business having success rate in funding or positioning for funding becomes very important for us to understand the metrics that lenders are looking out for in each of those financial documents. And by so doing, we as owners of business need to know our business financial position so as to work in positioning ourselves correctly for funding. So I'll pause to take Martin's comment. Martins is raising his hand. Stop share. Martins, 1 second, let me try. Do you want to ask a question? Martin, do you want to ask a question? Martins, I've admitted you. Do you want to ask your question? I can pause. You can unmute yourself, Martins, and ask your questions. Martins, unmute. You raised your hand, you're on mute. Okay. So I'll still carry on. So basically we're saying, as a business owner, you need to know your business, and knowing your business, you must appreciate what lenders are looking out for in your financial statement, so that as you conduct your operations, you're actively watching and monitoring it, so that beyond just positioning your business, you're also running a healthy business. So lenders are basically looking at your cash flow, your operating activities. What are those things that you do on a day-to-day basis that you use to generate income? What are those things that cost you money that you need to pay for in your business? So it doesn't help you as a business owner that you're paying for school fees from your company's account, or paying for your house rent from your company account. You need to be a bit creative along that line. Yes, we're all in business because we want to make profit, we want to make money, we want to be able to provide basic amenities for ourselves. Then you then need to pay yourself a salary, and from your salary, which is in your personal account, you can run some of those other expenses. What are your investment activities like? What are you investing? Which assets are you buying? So one of the topics we'll be bringing to you in the course of the Together We Thrive webinar series is we will be bringing a professional to come to talk to us about other investment opportunities, especially in cryptocurrency, where you can put a little money and over a short period or long period of time, you can begin to reap some genuine investment. And we will be partnering with one of the commercial banks in Nigeria to be able to bring you that insight. So as a business, beyond just doing your business, when you make profit, you need to invest those profits so that that profit is not just sitting in a bank waiting for you to run expenses, so that that profit is generating revenue, actively bringing income for you as well. Lenders are watching that and mirroring it. What are your financing and tax activities? What are those things that you do? Are you paying your tax? Do you have your tax clearance certificates? Are you registered to the revenue agencies? They are also monitoring that, because those are third-party documentations that prove to you that's a business. You've got one of the 5 C's, which we'll be looking at in the next couple of slides. They are looking at your debt position. They are looking at your earnings before interest, tax, and depreciation and amortization. These are the key indices that lenders are looking at. And these lenders are financial institutions, venture capitalists, and other associations or groups that will give you money. So having a set of up-to-date financial statements is very, very important for you if you have to position your business. So what we're basically saying is, as a business, you need to be registered. You need to have a business plan, and you need to have a financial statement as at when due. Financial statements as documents that are made available every year. You need to make sure that it is updated and it is audited. Even if you don't have an audited one, have a draft one that you can present to people. Having a good projection is also important. So people would ask you, oh, you need 10 million naira. What if we can't give you 10 million naira and we can give you 8 million naira? How are you going to spend your money? Projection basically speaks to how you're going to spend the money. What are you looking for funding for? Most people just say they need funding, but they don't understand that they need to be able to explain to the lender what you will be doing with the money. And some of the things they also look at is when you give them a projection of how you're going to spend your money, they're also going to tie it back to your business plan. So if you say you're going to be doing marketing and spend about 5 million naira of 8 million naira in marketing activities because you want to win sales, whereas in your business plan, your marketing strategy does not speak to the kind of investment you want to do. So those are the things that people tend to tie. So everything has to tie to one another. Your projection has to tie to your financial statement. Your financial statement has to tie to your cash flow. Your cash flow has to link back to some of the activities and strategies and goals and objectives that you've put in place in your business plan. Okay, so moving on for want of time, skills and training. Acquiring skills as a business owner, positioning yourself for funding, you need to acquire skills. As we've seen with some of the funding opportunities that have come up recently, CBN in conjunction with some of the other agencies in Nigeria are now asking people for certain kinds of certification to show that they've attended certain kinds of trainings and skills. So acquiring the necessary skills, training, attending lectures, seminars, webinars, classes are all necessary, and push to get certifications are all necessary for you to position your business. What industry sector are you looking at? Do you have the technical know-how? Are you positioning yourself or your business as a thought leader? Are you coming up above the pack to speak, to share ideas, to give insight, to educate, to mentor others? That will give you some benefit of understanding to show that you have the requisite knowledge and skill in that particular field. And are you competing or collaborating? In a time like this, we need to be collaborating. We need to be looking for people who we can partner with, people who can work together with, rather than people that we're competing with. Okay, certification permits and licenses are also necessary. You need to have this because you can't go and get a funding whereas you don't have a certification to partake or operate in that industry sector. Because you can collect funding today and in 2 months down the line, the relevant agencies will come up and shut your business. So you need to make sure that you have the necessary permits and licenses and put yourself out there as an expert in that field. Possessing these documents allows you to be able to apply or position your business in related activities. Others include banking, tax, and technology. What are your banking operations and strategies? Do you maintain a separate bank account for your business or for your private? It's important today that we strive as much as possible to ensure that we keep our business separate from our private life. Do you pay your taxes? Are you registered with the tax office? Are you registered with the Federal Inland Revenue in the tax station that is closest to where your business operates or where your business is registered? Do you even have a tax clearance certificate? Is there a pending tax audit on your company, or is there a non-compliance sticker pasted in your business premises? We need to be able to watch this. If there are tax exposures, if there are liabilities, if there are challenges, if there are issues you currently have with any of the revenue agencies, do quick or do well to try and resolve and close out on all those issues. What technology tools are you using at? There are lots of technology tools that you can use to issue out invoices, to collect your money, to track your business, to put in place to manage and mitigate some of the other exposures that businesses can have. Do you have a website, official email address, and or a marketing strategy? What accounting solution are you using? What POS terminal are you using, depending on the line of business that you're involved in? So there are so many tools that are out there. And in the course of this Together We Thrive webinar series, we will be bringing some insight. We will be talking about some of those tools one after the other and showcasing them as a topic. So we want to encourage you to keep tab with us and follow us in this journey of Together We Thrive. So basically, in conclusion, and this is me trying to wrap up, every business needs funding. Hence, your business should make money quickly. Your cash flow is very, very important. We encourage you to conduct a self-review of your business process and ensure that before you go to seek funding, you understand how well your business is. How much money do you need? What do you need this money for? Basically, you also need to strive to organize your finances. Check your exposures. Who are you owing? Who can you defer? What monies are your monies? Have you also looked at alternative options rather than go to borrow money by way of loan? One of the things we've done as a crowdfunding platform is that people can come here and create a campaign that allows them to receive funding from the general public. It's donation-based, but you must have the critical mass. People must know about your business. You must have the followership. You must be able to write a clear, concise, and good campaign that people can relate with. And if you as an individual don't donate to support other people, how will people support you? So Fund and Enterprise is a crowdfunding platform. It's an alternative to other types of funding activities. Have a clear understanding of what you intend to use with your funding. That's the projection we talked about. And you must understand the 5 C's in business, which is capacity. What is your capacity to be able to pay the funding or loan that you've collected? What is the collateral that you have against such funding? What is the capital involved? How much are you looking at? Do you actually need that amount? What is your character as a business person? Have you collected funding from Bank A and now you're talking to Bank C? Like I've seen in some social media posts, even the recent funds that people have collected from government agencies, people are beginning to plan right now not to even pay back. That's a bad character. Because if you close that opportunity, you're closing that opportunity to some other business. So I want to encourage people, if you've collected money from government agencies, pay up and pay up as at when due, so that the funds can go around and get to some other people who also requires it. And what are the conditions of the funding? You must understand the T's and C's or the fine lines or the fine print in each of the funding options, so that you don't get into a stage where you are just perpetually working for somebody else. The condition must be favorable to you first as a business person. Can you carry it? What's the interest? What's the challenges? What's the repayment plan? What's the moratorium period? What are the conditions of that facility? And we want to encourage people that you need to think and behave like a lender in running your business. Don't just say, oh, this fund is there, let me go and grab it. No, you must behave as a lender in running your business. And above all, you must plan, and keep planning. Fund and Enterprise is there to support you. You need guidance, you need to talk to us, you need to engage with us. Go to our website, chase us on email, call us on phone. We can be your business partners. We're striving to serve as the lone voice for MSMEs in Nigeria, calling for government support. Beyond just dishing out money, how are we supporting this business? Yes, we've given people money to run their business, but people are planning not to pay back because they've actually not used the money for their business, which is why it's important that hand-holding comes in. So as an entrepreneur or as a business owner running your business, you must have it at the back of your mind that your business must outlive you. And for your business to outlive you, you need to ensure that you have a business plan. You need to ensure that your business is registered. You must have adequate financial statements or documents to support what your business is doing. That's the only way. These three things are the only way a third party who doesn't see you on a day-to-day basis can look at your operations and say, yes, you run a successful business. Yes, you qualify for funding. And when people see that you pay your tax and you have a tax clearance certificate, quite honestly, you have the character that we've talked about in the 5 C's. Because for you to be able to discharge your tax responsibility and duties means that, yes, you have a character. Yes, governments have said if businesses operating 25 million naira and below annually should not pay tax. But you as an individual have got to render your own tax return on the income that you earn or the salary that you pay to yourself. And when you pay that tax to the relevant agency, you must obtain your tax clearance certificate so that when people ask you, you can brandish it and show it that yes, you have the right character. Character is very, very important in the course of our business operation. So with that, we come to the end of the presentation. And like I've said, Fund and Enterprise is there to support you. That's our website, www.fundandenterprise.org. Our email address is support@fundandenterprise.org, and our telephone number is there. We're available on LinkedIn, we're available on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube Live. I would like to see I have one more pool to share. So let's look at this. Let's take this pool if we can, if we're still listening to me. So there are 3 questions there. Do you have a website? Do you have an accounting software? Do you have a financial statement? No website, no accounting software. Okay, it's changing 50-50. 2 more seconds. Awesome. 33% of our attendees says they don't have a website. 67%, 33% say they have a website. 67% say no website. 100% don't use an accounting software. Interesting. I would like to encourage you to drop us an email. There are free accounting software we could customize for you to use to issue out invoice to manage your businesses. There are other paying ones depending on the type of business you're involved in. If you need an accounting software, you need an accounting software because with the aid of the accounting software, you can then prepare your financial statement. So it's important that you have an accounting software so that you can track on a live basis what your business is going through. So 100% says they don't have an accounting software, and 67% says they don't have a financial statement. Okay, I will end that pool. One more before we take questions. So let's do this one. Do you maintain a separate bank account? Is your business registered for tax? Do you pay tax? Awesome. 100% says yes, they maintain a separate bank account. 67% are registered for taxes. Beautiful. And the same 67% pay taxes. Okay. Okay, then let's talk about training. Yes, 100% says they require training. Okay, noted. We'll be in touch with you. So watch this space, join us. You would receive free training over the next couple of months from the foundation. Then the last pool for today. All right, no, that's the last one. That's the last one. All right, so questions? Are there questions, comments? Any questions, comments? Martins, you joined late. Do you have any question, comments? We will be sending a link to the webinar today, the recordings. We'll send it out to everyone. If you do have any questions, we welcome you to speak to us at the foundation. Here is our website, phone number, email address. We're available again on all social media platforms. Okay, Abubakar Musa is asking, how can you assist my business in securing funds for mercenaries? So look, Musa, if you can still hear me, first things first, maybe we need to engage privately. We need to review your business. We need to be able to identify the various applicable funding options we can. If you want to create a funding campaign on our website, we encourage you to go to the website, which you can see here. Go to the website, click on how to create a campaign or how it works. Go through it, then you can raise your campaign. There are certain things you need to do about ensuring that you raise a proper campaign. One is that you have to have the correct network. You as an individual have to have the correct network. So you must have, good friends. You must have good followership on social media. You must know people so that when they see your campaign, they will be willing to donate. And we're not asking people to come and donate 100,000, 50,000 naira. So what's crowdfunding basically? Crowdfunding is a group of people coming together to donate small amount of money for a particular venture. So if you, Abubakar, is planning to acquire mercenaries for your business, and let's say the machines are worth about, for the purpose of this discussion, 1 million naira, and that's what you need. You can create a campaign for 1 million naira. You then need to talk about your business. You need to provide a video. You need to provide insight into the importance of that machine, the impact that that machine will do for your business. There must be a plan of action to show people that, look, you're not just going to take the money and walk away, but this is what you're already doing. And with the aid of their support, you'll be able to acquire these machines and you can do more, or you can do this and you can demonstrate that. And we can begin to monitor it. And once it happens, the foundation will support you to share those campaigns as well among our networks of people and businesses. But if you require other types of funding, we can take it outside of this discussion, identify the various options. If you're in the healthcare sector, we can put together the necessary documentations and apply to the CBN for the health fund. So there are a couple of funding options that are available. And thank you for bringing up that question, which then reminds me, the next webinar series will be looking at funding options. We are partnering with one of the notable commercial banks, and an individual from that bank is coming to speak to us about all the available funding options in Nigeria, both from the federal government, from the CBN, and from the commercial banks themselves that are operating, and we will share that insight. So please follow us on all the social media if you're here. Go to LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube like, share, and activate notifications so that once we launch the next webinar series, tentatively, it is built to hold on the 15th of October, which is Thursday, third Thursday in October, so that we can, and by 10 a.m., so that you can get insight into the various funding options that are available. Any more questions? So I think I've answered your question, Abubakar Musa. All right, and I would like to wrap up once again, because I started with my beautiful video, and I would like that you take a listen to the video. It's also available on social media.
Why is entrepreneurship so challenging in Nigeria? Because entrepreneurs lack support. They lack funding, training, mentorship, network, market, technology, and other necessary support systems. Harun's kismet supported him with portions of land and some money. He is a successful farmer today, making a good living for his family and employees. Chima was set up in business by his uncle after some years of apprenticeship. Bola too has a similar story with her real estate business. You too can support businesses today on fundenterprise.org. Fundenterprise.org is Nigeria's first crowdfunding platform for supporting MSMEs with funds to start up or scale up their businesses, training, mentorship, network, market, and technology. You should support businesses today by donating to them on fundenterprise.org. You can also create your fundraising campaign on fundenterprise.org if you need funds for your business. Help your business and other businesses achieve their goals today on www.fundenterprise.org. This way, our people can have a meaningful livelihood and our economy can thrive again.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today. With that, we come to the end of the webinar for this week. We want to encourage you to continue to strive, to thrive, and to make sure that we do what we can to run a successful business so that all entrepreneurs can continue to give meaningful life to ourselves and to our business. If there are any other further questions, please drop me an email at support@fundenterprise.org. Thank you and have a nice day. See you in 2 weeks' time. Bye.